There we go. Apparently Crowder's all whining and crying because he doesn't think women should be allowed to get divorced from men without their permission. In other words, he believes women should be prisoners when they get married. And here's this Ring camera. Obviously, it's from like a year or so ago because now the idiot has twins, showcasing the abuse.
I drew a boundary of abuse and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There's no groceries. I'd be happy.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How do you, man?
So her wifely duties apparently involve him getting to sit on his fat ass smoking a cigar while his pregnant wife, who is probably tired, aching, and really fucking sick of his shit, is expected to go to the grocery store to lug around charcoal briquettes for his grill.
No, you're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not.
then I will ask them to pick me up.
Go to the grocery store, but you're not taking the car. So what is your heavily pregnant wife expected to do, you jackass? Walk? How about you get off your lazy ass and drive your pregnant wife, soon-to-be mother of your children, to the goddamn grocery store, like a real man would do?
Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Stephen.
Like, I can't
Stephen.
go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym.
Go to the store, but don't walk out. Go to the store, but you're not taking the car. I take it he doesn't allow her to have her own car, right? He can't go to the gym. He can't go to mommy and daddy's.
I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just...
You can't be home, but you want to sit at home while your wife goes to the grocery store. He feels boxed in. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Holy crap, and she's still sitting there, appealing to him. What do you want me to get, honey? I need to go to the store, honey. I'm 8 months fucking pregnant, honey. But you want charcoal briquettes and beer and this and that for you. What do you want me to get, honey?
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Stephen.
And making it work. The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Discipline and respect. How about you show some goddamn discipline? Uncross your disgusting hairy legs, get off your lazy ass, and drive your pregnant wife to the store. Better yet, how's this for discipline? Your wife is pregnant, you tell her to sit down, and you take some responsibility. Get your ass to the store to buy your stupid fucking charcoal briquettes and your beer. Start showing some respect and start showing some self-discipline. Better yet, you don't need a steak tonight, and you don't need to be guzzling beer. Don't want you to get too fat in the gut now, do we? Drink some water.
There you go. You throw your hand. You give up so easily.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary,
Stephen?
you give up so easily? I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it.
Watch what? You little douchebag.
Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and
Ah, he doesn't love her. Why are you married? Aren't you a right-winger? Don't you bitch about how marriage is supposed to be the most important thing? Well, you're married, motherfucker. It's a give and take in a marriage. This few moments of video I'm watching here shows me exactly how much you keep taking and how little you give.
the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife, no, not as a wife.
This dumb fuck. You have the audacity to talk about worthiness. You should feel so lucky. You found a woman willing to put up with your incessant shit, that actually agreed to walk around pregnant with your disgusting spawn. And you have the audacity to heap this shit on her
I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
when she's ready to pop.
I'm gonna go. I'll get text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to you. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves.
Put on some gloves and walk the dogs. Now she's got to take the fucking dog out, chase after a dog at like 8-9 months pregnant with gloves on to pick up its shit while he sits on the couch in his lavish backyard bitching about charcoal briquettes and beer.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
As they head inside, Stephen gets angrier and angrier, and by his own admission screams, "I will fuck you up," at his pregnant wife Hillary, who then flees their home. This douche, man. I feel horrible for her and for the dog. Wow, wants his wife to run errands but doesn't want her to take the car because what if he wants to go to the gym or hang out with friends? So he suggests she take an Uber. He's also worth far too much money and could easily buy a second car or even hire a driving service. Controlling, manipulative fuck. Only has one car just so he can control her more. fact that she doesn't have her own car is also telling. He either won't let her or won't let her have the money to get one, or both. This motherfucker needs some straightening out. I hope his wife realizes there's no fixing this asshole, and I'm glad she got out before he turned to violence. They're divorced now. This little gem just happened to slip out after he finally acknowledged the divorce on his show and complained that in Texas, divorce should have to be agreed to mutually. Someone was sitting on this vid for a long time. The law says that if one party wants out, you have to let them go. Yeah, that's the point of a fucking divorce. You think they're all amicable? You think people don't get divorced because at least one of them decides, I don't love this person, they're a piece of shit, I don't want to be with this person anymore, and I have every right to get out of a marriage just like I had every right to get into one? Oh, he keeps berating her about putting gloves on because he wants her to give the dog the medication that is toxic to pregnant women, which she dared to express hesitancy about. Real pro-life, traditionalist, conservative values there. Imagine being worth like 20-some million and being so insecure you only have one car, so your wife can never go out without you chaperoning her. He's a manipulating sociopath misogynist. Can't even form a coherent argument to support whatever point he thinks he's making. They only debate people who aren't prepared for it, like college kids, like Crowder does, or those who aren't deeply into the political sphere. He would never debate someone like Sam Seder. They also limit debates to platforms they control so they can mute others when things don't go their way. Well, duh. When he said disingenuous, I cringed. Dude is so up his own ass with his internet show. He's just terrible. This is the guy who claimed he was getting lowballed when he was offered $50 million to host his show on someone else's platform. He's just being an abusive psycho. There are decades of Crowder talking shit about women and treating them like objects, all available on his own YouTube channel. Seems like one of those trad wife ladies from TikTok, the ones who like it when it's just photos of thatched cottages and kids in Aran wool sweaters, but when it becomes real life, suddenly want out. This is a narcissist back into a corner and is losing control. While I'm not comparing me and my father's relationship to a married couple, once I got older and realized his BS, he started to act like this. They'll pull at any thread they can, sounding like they always do, but you can hear it all unravel in their voice and responses. After hearing her tone, I'm honestly just sad. Being pregnant makes you so exhausted, sick, and grumpy, yet she is still de-escalating and trying her best to end the confrontation. Hope she can find some peace of mind, and this is a wake-up call for him, and he learns to expect her while she's carrying his child. Well, that ship has sailed. She was pregnant. She was expecting his child. And he treated her like shit. And he hasn't learned a fucking thing. He's sitting there on his show arguing about how women shouldn't be allowed to divorce men. Yeah, you cry and cry and whine. Ain't gonna bring her back, ain't gonna bring your kids back. I hope he doesn't have any contact with his children, frankly. She shouldn't be allowed to stop taking my abuse if I don't want her to. Yep, that's a conservative. Ooh, apparently it wasn't her that even started it. He moved out when the twins were born and contacted a divorce lawyer to cut her out of his finances. All makes it seem this whole feud with Candace Owens and his statements is to attack his wife. Not only wildly different, but it's almost like it's calculated to control her. Makes Candace look like the good guy, which is worse. She works for one of those pregnancy crisis clinics, too. Hopefully, this is a huge moment of clarity for her. I saw she glanced up at the Ring camera, too, in the middle of that. I don't know if you noticed. She knew that it was there. She knew it was recording. Either he doesn't know that there was a camera there, or he's that fucking stupid that he never thought this would get out or people wouldn't care. In fact, I think this guy has enough money. He should probably be deplatformed. The source for this video is actually a journalist who claims to have a lot more evidence. He told his ex's divorce lawyer that he was going to talk about his divorce on his show, and she explicitly asked him not to. He did it anyway. Looks like he reaps what he sows. He's basically saying her life and the life of their child doesn't matter to him, which makes this horrific. And these are the same assholes who want to ban abortion to save the children. Because they don't care about children. They don't like women. What do people not understand? and you'll sit there and you'll say all this shit about how conservatives suck and Crowder is a fucking man baby and they're all backward misogynists. But you still bring this up like you're surprised, like they're supposed to be taken aback at their hypocrisy. No, it's on purpose. They don't like women and they don't care about children. Conservatives want to fuck children. They don't care about them. Brings me a lot of happiness that the scumbag's life is now so miserable. Between his chronic back pain and this embarrassing divorce shit, he must be living in hell. I hope his wife drags him through the mud. You can tell just by looking at that backyard that they have major money. Why would you only have one car? It's a manipulation tactic to control someone. And this is what I don't get. I would never tolerate that shit. Never. I have no kids. I have never had kids or really felt a need to have children. You want to know why? Because I want to ensure that the situation is just right before I have children. Holy crap. If I ever ended up with a guy who treated me like that when I was pregnant, I'd probably beat him myself. And I'd let the camera catch me doing it too. I don't care what happens to me. That's what really sucks. I know it probably doesn't sound any better, but when I see this, the only thing I think of is that so many man children just need a beating. Kind of exactly what he's saying right here. These guys need to learn self-discipline. They need to learn their place. It's sad. Not enough of them were raised right, and you can tell they need to be put in their place sometimes. It's just what they need. Nikki Haley says Biden will likely die within 5 years. What the fuck is wrong with you? My dad is 90 and my mom is 86. They're alive and well. You know who isn't? My 14-year-old daughter who was murdered in school because of terrible people like you. I'm going to stand with Joe Biden until he finishes his second term. Politics matter. A simple bill is the difference between life and death. Yeah. Well, Biden is, what? 80? Isn't Trump 4 years younger than him? Isn't Trump like 76 fucking years old? this isn't about age. And you know what else really sucks? Stop talking about Joe Biden like he's some senile old man that doesn't know what town he's in. Have you ever heard Donald Trump speak? I don't think you have. Actually, they all have. They know exactly how batshit insane he sounds. At times, he's worse than Sarah Palin. When it comes to the clusterfuck of garbage he just spews out without thinking about it or caring about what he's saying. Because it has nothing to do with age. Nothing with these people is ever about what they say it's about. It's an attempt to lie, to manipulate, to gaslight people. And that's something we need to start bringing a lot more attention to. Because the only thing I personally see, and I've experienced personally, when it comes to really narcissistic pieces of shit, is that their shit tactics only work when there are people dumb enough to believe them. We need to start making it clear to these people that nobody they're speaking to is dumb. The more they try to lie and cheat and deceive and gaslight, the dumber they look, because we can see right through them. They're as clear and transparent as glass. And we're sick of it. Your reminder that every Democrat believes that if Hunter Biden broke the law, he should be punished. And every Republican believes that Donald Trump should be above the law. Any questions? Free speech is meaningless unless you allow people you don't like to say things you don't like. Retweeted by Montana Republican House member who voted to ban elected Representative Zoe Zephyr from being present in House chambers. Carlos, Prince of Asturias, had only 4 great-grandparents instead of the usual 8. Let's see. How does this work? Okay. Great-grandparents over here and then great-grandparents over there. One set of great-grandparents had 2 children who married each other and had Felipe II. The other great-grandparents had 2 children who married each other and had Maria Manuela, and those 2 married and had Carlos. Ah, that's so weird. Capina says he's not beating up on her, he's just asking questions. This is about the Trump sexual assault trial. I'm telling you, she says, nearly shouting the remark that follows. He raped me whether I screamed or not. I don't need any excuse for not screaming. This remark is the loudest of Carol's testimony so far. She previously mentioned that being asked the question, "Why didn't you scream?" is one of the reasons women don't come forward. Louder for the back. There is no right way to be raped. I thought that type of shit was illegal now. You are not supposed to badger victims like that. Or maybe it just doesn't matter considering who's being accused. We'll send a full frontal nude to whoever sends me a Blue Sky invite code first. Looking for 37.7 thousand of my closest friends. Blue Sky waitlist is weeks long or 9 hours with this one simple trick. I thought people were going over to Mastodon. Why would you leave Twitter to go on a waiting list for another site? Why the hell would you do that? Anyone making materially false statements on this platform will get community noted, including you, me, Tucker, advertisers, head of state, no exceptions. I literally saw hundreds of tweets this morning saying things like, "Thanks, Tucker," or "Go, Tucker." Let me be clear about one thing. Tucker Carlson is an entertainer. He is an entertainer who stoops down to levels of bigotry. He's a liar who would tell people what they wanted to hear. This is fascism. Validating Tucker Carlson and invalidating other reporters is fascism. We have to fight this. See, one thing that I will add right here. Fascism is when it's your government stopping this shit. Not when Elon Muskrat is doing it. He's the one who bought Twitter. And if it means so much, if Twitter means so much that people are going to call it fascism when Elon Musk does Elon Musk things, then Elon Musk should not be in charge of Twitter anymore. Because, you know, super billionaire oligarchs are gonna oligarch. Rich, right-wing, conservative assholes are gonna asshole. I guess that's why so many people are so eager to leave, that they're sitting on a waiting list for another Twitter-like site for over 9 weeks now. Instead of, you know, going to like Mastodon or just starting a Discord or whatever. I don't know. He raped me whether I screamed or not. E. Jean Carroll refuses to be broken. Hero. Riveting moment between E. Jean Carroll and Trump lawyer Tacopina in court just now. Tacopina pushed her repeatedly on why she didn't scream if she was allegedly being raped. I'm not a screamer. You can't beat up on me for not screaming. I'm not beating up on you. I'm just asking you questions. Women don't come forward. One of the reasons they don't come forward is because they're asked stupid questions like, why didn't you scream? I'm telling you, he raped me whether I screamed or not. What kind of fucked up cult of a so-called political party high fives and cheers after voting to take health care away from our veterans? The Republican Party, of course. Oh, and Carolyn Bryant Donham, the white woman whose accusations set off the lynching of Emmett Till nearly 70 years ago, has died. She was 88. 69 years too late. And Marjorie Three Toes Green says that adopted or married parents aren't real parents because they're not biological. She just told a witness who is a mother through marriage that she's not a mother. So I guess all of those children should be taken away from their families too, right? In other words, you don't want any child to have a parent unless both of their parents are biological and married to each other. What is it? Like, I think it's less than 50% of parents in this country today are biological parents still married to each other. So the majority of this country aren't real parents. Tim Pool is a fascist. Be on the lookout. This will be their go-to to disenfranchise every group. Trans, mental illness, no rights. Gay, mental illness, no rights. Disabled, reproductive choice, interracial dating, mental illness, no rights. Because Tim Pool put up this poll, should mentally ill people be allowed to vote? No, 55%. I think Tim Pool is mentally ill. So does that mean he should not have the right to vote? I think all Republicans are mentally fucking ill. So I guess by his logic, none of them should be allowed to vote. See how that works? Hi, I'm just checking if you have a penis or vagina, 'cause I don't want you to make me uncomfortable. Yup, that's the MAGA movement in a nutshell. Ugh, Tate the Tot says he's been poisoned and is rejecting medical care. Face swollen, blood pressure through the roof, skin's on fire, hard to breathe, some sort of severe reaction or poison. Only had coffee and water so far today. All appeared in the last 5 minutes. Looks like he's aged about 30 years. Well, it's a good thing he's not going to see a doctor, because I believe any doctor in their right mind would tell him that real men don't get sick. Ha 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 ha. Oh, he must have ate the leftover pizza from that night with Greta. He should have known it was past its best before date. Such blatant attention seeking from a grown man is just embarrassing. Cool story, bro. Yes, please stand your ground. Refuse all medical care. Got beat up last night and sucked a few wieners. He'll be fine. Oh no. Anyway. That's a shame. Sounds like he'd be safer back in prison. He should go back there. Real men don't get medical attention for this type of thing, Tate. Oh no. So what's for dinner, everyone? Taco Thursday here. That's a damn shame. Oh, is this fuck knuckle not dead yet? Well, we're waiting. Oh, so like, can I please go see my doctor in Dubai? I'll come right back and not evade captivity, I promise, bro. That's odd. I've had 2 coffees so far today and I feel great. Is it just me or does he actually look better this way? If he dies, he dies. Isn't that just his normal face? Oh God, this is awesome. Ugh, he's still ugly. So, Carolyn Bryant, the woman who got Emmett Till lynched, has died. Anyone who thinks Emmett Till being lynched in 55 is ancient history should remember 18 members of Congress are older than him, and the white woman who got him lynched just today died, with no accountability whatsoever. In short, systemic racism and racial terror against black people is not even ancient history. It's not even history. It's contemporary reality. Breaking, Jimmy Kimmel tears into Ted Cruz. What a sorry excuse for an American. The only thing funnier than Trump going to jail for trying to steal an election is Cruz going to jail for trying to steal the election for Donald Trump. It got even worse for Ted. Next time you go to Cancun, stay in Cancun, Kimmel said. Thank you, Jimmy Kimmel, for calling out Ted Cruz. We don't need him here. Yep, and there she is. Rest in hell. God, it's weird how old people look so different from when they were younger. When her relatives stood up Emmett Till in front of her, she said it was him who catcalled her. The lady committed that young man to death. Karma didn't do a damn thing. She died peacefully, having never been punished. Keep in mind, this was a whole town of white Christians who tortured a child to death for catcalling. Seems like a whole town full of white trash. The whole South. At least Matthew Shepard's murderers were convicted. They were acquitted and didn't acquit themselves. History is far too kind to racists.
They get away with heinous shit and live on without missing a beat. Where's Aldo the Apache when you need him? I'd so watch a movie about a ragtag bunch of minorities running around offing a bunch of these right-wing groups. I'll tell you something. I've had fantasies like that. Lots of awful people go on to live long, happy, healthy lives. Just listen to Behind the Bastards. Karma is a thing we use to rationalize bad things happening in a world that we can't do anything about. People use God in a similar way. Actually, karma doesn't mean that at all. Karma is an Indian word. It's a Hindi word. And it means comeuppance in the afterlife. Another word that is misinterpreted and has been bastardized by people for clicks and likes and whatnot. Karma, they believe, means what goes around comes around in the here and now. And that's not what karma actually means at all. If karma were a thing, we probably wouldn't know it because it's their equivalent to burning in hell. Or, you know, a lot of Hindus believe in reincarnation. So, I guess she'll come back as a gnat or something. There are very few people I wish bad things upon. She's definitely one of them. I'd say I wish something happened to her which would get me canceled if I said it out loud. Yes, well, you see, karma doesn't work like that. It applies only to the next life. If you were a perfect deer in your current life, you get a chance to live your next life as a higher being. If you were a perfect human by karma rules, you will then become one with the universe and will get free from the wheel of constant rebirth in the material world. It's just in Western mass media, people use the term karma in the wrong way. They use it like justice because they want to believe in justice, but karma does not equal justice. She lived her whole life with that lie. Shit like that eats you up on the inside. Yeah, thumbs down. Not everyone has the same kind of kindness as you seem to. Truly cannot imagine living my whole life with the knowledge that I caused this evil. Pretty sure she was A-OK with it. A-O-K-K-K with it, even. I'd commit suicide or give up everything and take religious order. Well, the thing is, you're not a racist piece of shit like this woman was. People that are like that don't view the other as being a human being. So to them, why would they feel remorse? Yeah, it assumes you would actually feel bad about it. I promise you, she clearly didn't give a shit about it. At least now the carbon making up her body can get put to better use feeding worms, instead of being a horrible excuse for a human being. I bet her grave will be soaked in piss. If they cremate her, they should do so in the traditional manner for identical material. I believe it's the custom to leave it in a flaming brown paper bag on a doorstep and wait for somebody to get it on their shoes, stomping it out. Judas Priest, Barbara, it's one of the flaming bags again. He called the shit poop. This is the greatest day of my life. Don't put it out with your boots, Ted. Don't tell me my business, devil woman. Call the fire department. This one's out of control. You have to know what that's a reference to, right? They had to make the marker where they recovered Emmett Till's body bulletproof and reinforced it because it kept getting vandalized, stolen, and even shot at. As evil as her and her family's actions were, it's heartbreaking to see some people never change their beliefs. Man, she died ugly as fuck, too. How dare she accuse little Emmett at whistling at her dog face decades ago? The first gender-neutral toilet in the U.S. I pray someone shits on her grave as well. Well, go on and do it. I'll go with you. I will actually take my phone and film the entire thing. They just said Emmett Till's grave marker was vandalized multiple times. People vandalized the gravestone of a child they tortured and murdered. Even in death, they could not spare 1 ounce of respect for him. So you want to know something? Fuck it. Fuck it. Forget you. I will take a shit on the grave. I'm telling you right now. I will take a shit on the grave. Drive me up there, and I will drop trow, squat down, and take a big steamy shit. Hopefully it doesn't go down like it did in those Jackass movies. I don't want to have to hold it so long that first I shit my pants in the van and then everybody's puking and then I have to go home and get cleaned up just to come back, hoping that I don't shit my pants again. And that's another thing. The Jackass people had the guy shit in a display toilet at the hardware store. I think I could get a little bit of support for doing this. No reason she shouldn't have paid some sort of price for her lies. Truly disgusting. Considering what those fucking animals did to that child, she would have absolutely deserved to have the exact same goddamn fate inflicted upon her. Naturally, she did fuck all with her life. Disgusting ass human. Somehow I doubt she gave a shit. I bet she was casually wheezing this racist shit at the very end. Gonna be a long line at her grave. They're gonna need to hire a janitor and cover it in urinal cakes. Imagine how much and how often her grave will be defiled in the future. Probably a lot, but not enough to make up for her shit. I will guarantee you nothing will happen to her fucking grave. But like I said, everybody's saying, oh, somebody take a shit. I'll take the shit. I will take the shit. Emmett should have lived to 88, not this redneck old hag. Ah, now this is a good idea. I hope she's reincarnated in the past as Emmett Till and remembers every second of this life in her next. Now that would make one hell of a movie. I called it! I called it! Nobody else can make that movie. Wait, actually, that kind of a movie already exists. It was mind-blowing. Lady who got Emmett Till beaten and lynched, he had an open casket funeral on purpose. There wasn't even a face. It was an intentional choice by his mother to show what those subhuman animals did to her son. Mama Till wanted people to see what happened to her son. She wanted people to get just as goddamn furious about it as she was. She succeeded. Typical conservative. Boy, you don't know the half of it. 1955 Deep South. Bitch ain't much to be whistling at either. Yikes, is she fugly. She's looking like a deformed dog in a skin suit. I don't know. Seems like a pretty average looking woman, actually. That doesn't even look very 50s. She was 21 when she accused him and got him killed. That photo looks like a 40s photo. Whatever, dude. I don't know. But I'm still serious. I'll take the shit on the grave. So anyway, all right, I need to eat. I'm so hungry. I am dreaming of my salad. So I will most likely be back with more Resident Evil 4 remake. Mwah.